We have a 2008 Chevy Malibu with a 4-cylinder. This is a variable valve timing motor. Right now the customer is complaining that the thing has no power, starting hard. We did pull the codes on it. We have a PO011 and a PO013 and 14. The PO011 is the intake cam positioning actuator solenoid, and the 13 and 14 have to do with the exhaust camshaft positioning solenoid. We're going to replace those, and it should help the performance of the motor. Okay, the hood support strut is bad on this one, so you can either put a piece of wood holding it up or clamp it like that so it doesn't come down and get you. Next thing we do is take off this engine cover. You undo this, make sure you don't get any dirt inside there. And now underneath here on the carb or on the throttle body down there, there's one of these that you have to undo. So you reach down there and loosen that one and this one right here. And we also have this, we have to get a pair of pliers to loosen this hose up, and this hose has to come off. Clamp this with a pair of pliers like this, move it over, and usually you can just pull that right off like that. If this is loose enough, you can get that off too. Make sure it's loose. There's no need to undo that one. There we go. And this just pulls straight up like that. And you can see this clamp right here that I was talking about. If it's too tight, you got to loosen that up through here like that. The PO011 code was for this front intake one. So if you're just replacing one, this is the one you replace. And the PO13 and 14 were for the exhaust one back here. So if you're just replacing one, that's the one you replace. This is the variable timing motor on this. And these are the two solenoids that reads it and adjusts as the RPMs go up and down, or the load of the motor. This front one is the intake one. This back one is the exhaust. Push this down, pull it off like that. Push this one down, pull it off. And you can see the exhaust one is black and the front one is like a gray. Okay, this is the cam positioning solenoid. It's going to be the front one because it's gray. So that's actually for your intake. We're going to want to clean down there with some air because there's two bolts, two 10mm bolts that we have to take out. So before we do that, we're going to definitely cover this up over here for the oil. So no debris goes down in there. And then we're going to blow this area out right here. And then we're going to pull this one out and install this by just removing that 10mm that's down there. I don't think that comes out all the way. I think it's just something that's like this one right here. It's just stuck in there. So just make sure it's loose. And then you get a pair of pliers or whatever around this, and it doesn't really matter because we're replacing it anyway. So you just got to wiggle it around and hopefully it pops right up. There it goes. And just make sure no debris falls in there. That's why we blew the air around there to get everything out. Just wiggle a little, pull it straight up, and you're going to drip some oil. These things get plugged after a lot of miles because people don't change their oil and stuff like that, which also makes them not perform properly. So there's the old one, and here's the new one, right from GM. That's what it's going to look like right there. And we're going to put a little oil on this, and all we're going to do is slide it down nice and easy without hitting the sides or anything, and then tighten up the 10. Okay, just snug it up. You don't have to get crazy. Just a 10mm. Okay, now we're going to go on to the second one over here, which should be just the same. You might have to wiggle a little with a pair of pliers or something just to break it loose. Oh, forgot. Got to take the 10 out first. Okay, take that out first. Okay, reach down in there, grab that. So it doesn't drop inside your motor. And then we just got to get over here and wiggle a little. You don't want to break it all up, but hopefully it just breaks loose pretty easy like that. Start pulling up on it as you do that. Just wiggle it. Get that one out. You might drop a little oil. No big deal. Compare it, and this is the exhaust one. Okay, just slide it down there nice and easy. And tighten up the 10. Okay, now just snug it up nice and easy. You don't have to get crazy on it. Good enough. Okay, now all we do is plug these in and reinstall the cover. Just make sure you listen to it clip. That's snapped in. That's snapped in. Wiggle that till that sets down like that, snaps in place. We're going to put our cap back on. Put this on, we're going to tighten that up. Put this on. Take a pair of pliers, move that back. Make sure this is where it's got to be. You might have to move it around a little. There it goes. Okay, finally slid up where it's got to be. Tighten this up. And that's all it takes to fix the variable timing solenoids on a 2008 Chevy Malibu.